All praise to the Most High. We want to bring the conclusion of this story. This story started in 2022, and let's say 3 years later. 3 years later, the conclusion. I want to play the conclusion of this story.
To breaking news, the family of a teenager who was handcuffed during a brawl in a New Jersey mall in what the family called a racist response has reached a settlement with Bridgewater Township Police. Zuki Hussein stood with his family and lawyers at the Bergen County NAACP tonight as they announced the resolution. In February of 2022, Hussein was standing up for another teen who was being bullied when he got into a fight at Bridgewater Commons Mall. Bridgewater police put the then 14-year-old in handcuffs while kneeling on him, while the other teenager who's of Columbia.
Stop and say fair use. This is fair use. 1976 Fair Use Act. Let's continue.
And Pakistani descent sat nearby. The family's lawyers say they'll be offering police training sponsored by their law firm and by the NAACP to every police department in New Jersey.
I want you to know your future is bright. Despite how those officers saw you, we see the God in you, and we know you're going to do great things.
The amount of the settlement was not disclosed. We reached out to Bridgewater Township Police for comment, and they have not gotten back to us. To break.
All right. All praise to the Most High. We see these people. We see how they react. You know, we see them reacting. First thing they want to do is they don't care if you winning or losing. Look like to me. Yeah, it looks like to me that the boy was actually, he's smaller than the guy, a Mexican, a white Mexican. He was smaller. The Mexican body slammed him. He was fighting hard as he could. He was being bullied. Another kid, one of his friends, was being bullied, and I guess he stood up, stood toe to toe, and the Mexican kid, he hit him about 4 times. This Pakistani guy hit him about 4 or 5 times, man, and that Mexican kid picked him up and took him to the ground. So he was losing. And the police came up and pulled the Mexican kid off for him and locked him up. Man, what can we say, man? The only thing we're gonna say, man, is we got to come back to the Most High. We can't be standing up fighting these people heads up, man. We can't be standing up fighting them heads up onesies and twosies. Now, I can see if they get on one side and get all their group on one side, or they start attacking us in our neighborhoods, and we have to stand up for our homes and our neighborhoods and stuff. But just at the mall fighting, I don't think that's what the Most High wants us to do. But we know our kids they're gonna go to battle, man. That proves right here that they are going to battle. They are going to fight, and just like we were back in the 60s and the 70s, we was fighting, man. We fight. Sometimes we had to fight to school, fight on the way home to school, fight to the store, fight when mama sent us to the store to get some supper. I remember time 4 or 5 carloads pulled up on us, me and my partners, and yeah, knocked the groceries out of our hands to the ground. Needless to say, we dusted them off. But we also we was walking through a white neighborhood. We lived in the apartments in the neighborhood, but some of the homeowners came out and ran the guys back in their cars. Some of the white homeowners came out and took our side. So yeah, needless to say, you want to not be in any confrontation, unless it's absolutely necessary with these people. Because they do have the law on their side, and they're coming at our children. They're picking them off onesies and twosies. and they're not fair fighters. They have to outnumber you. They have to outweigh you. They pick on children and old people and women. So just remember that. You cannot get in confrontations with these people. It's best to walk away because the police are standing there waiting for a reason to lock you up. But we see the parents got lawyers and got the Crumps, and now the Crumps they gonna educate. They're gonna educate the police. They're gonna teach the law, which they're doing right. They're doing right. That grand jury book I'm reading out of said we the people have to teach the sheriffs. We have to teach the police because the police departments, they're hiring them, and they're not teaching them what's right and wrong according to our Constitution, our sovereign rights. And so you see what I've been trying to teach is that we are sovereign regardless of whether General Johanna and Nate and all their captains, whatever they say, we are sovereign in the courts. We are the sovereign citizens here, and they have laws they have to follow when they approach us, and they have to treat us like sovereign citizens, whether they want to get behind our back and call us whatever names, niggas and 3/5 of men, whatever. Whatever they want to do, they can do it. We don't care. But a lot of the stuff they do and say is violating our the peace. Yeah, disturbing the peace toward us. So Israelites, you gotta remember that a lot of the stuff you say to them could be looked at as disturbing their peace. So since they're in our land and ain't nothing we can do we can't expel them, you got to respect the laws because that's one of our laws. And we won't disturb their peace and they can't disturb our peace. With two nations living together, that's what they have to establish. That's already been established. That's why I tell y'all, politically and civically, the Most High's laws is the law of the land, the common law, and the Constitution, peace and friendship. Our laws have already been established how humans should treat each other when they're living together on the land. Now, they're not sovereign. Their law is not sovereign over us. They don't have jurisdiction over us. They can't have. Because a people that's occupying your country come over and occupy you, maybe their weaponry, because their weaponry and their military forces is stronger than yours, just because, and you gave them a visa to come over, like in our situation, they taught us, miseducated us to what our laws are or what sovereignty is, and that we were even sovereign. And our nationality was taken from us. They stole our identity. So they weren't going to teach us what our sovereignty laws are, but God taught us in the Bible. That's why it's good to read those laws. Read the law. You got to go back and study the law because your redemption is in that law. Not so much, it's not just, okay, God is some power, hungry being, supernatural being, majestic being that he just want to make some laws and beat you up and he's a hard taskmaster. No. Your redemption is in knowing that law. Did you hear what I said? Your redemption is knowing the law because some of that law is going to redeem you from your slave master's grip, jurisdiction. It's already set. So we're out of slavery. Whenever God set up a law that we can use to defeat the slave master, then we out of slavery. So you stop saying look what you did to Gad and I'm going to keep your law. Stop, just stop it. Whenever God give you a law that you can take in court and defeat them, sue them, have them deported, and force them to relinquish their jurisdiction off of you, it's been sitting there for years. the Constitution, the Peace and Friendship Treaty, all the treaty with the Native Americans, the Northern Kingdom of Israel, not those pale-faced white people, white Chinese, East Indians, partly Negro, all the people they set up as the 5 civilized tribes. They don't have any civil rights. They don't have any sovereignty to this land. We are the sovereign to this land. They say, oh, this is my country. Yeah, the United Colonies, the invisible country, the imaginary country. When they say this is my country, they're talking about them. They are the country. Wherever they are the country. Their country. Just like wherever we are our sovereign citizen. We are our sovereign country. We are sovereign to the earth. Actually, we are sovereign to the earth. We are the kings and queens of the earth. Nobody can make a law and force us to keep it, because we already have our sovereign laws from the Most High God. You can't take that away. So studying the first five books of the Bible, you're going to find ceremonial law, you're going to find sacrificial law, you're going to find civic laws, you're going to find moral laws, and you're going to find dress code laws. 5 categories. Study those laws and study those civic laws, because that is how you treat strangers and how strangers are to treat you when they come into your country. It's 2 countries here. It's two countries here. One sovereign, that's us, because this is our land. It's another country here that's occupying the land that already have laws they have to follow in order to not violate the sovereign people here. And that's been set up for years. 1776 and before. Before the Jim Crow laws, before the Constitution, the Peace and Friendship Treaty was here. And the human rights law, which is God's law, how humans should treat each other, it's been here since God gave it to Moses to give to us. And it's still ratified, and it's still in place. It had to be grandfathered when any nation come. That's the oldest law. You have to grandfather, when you start making other laws and stuff, you have to grandfather these laws in. They stay in place. So don't say we're in slavery when the courts, when all we have to do is unite back together and force people, demand force. And if you join together as a nation and not a bunch of Israelite camps, but join together as one people, ain't nobody gonna challenge you on what they can do to you and what they can't do to you. Those little nations, we are right now, this is the end of the earth, this is the end of the world. We are like sands of the sea. They know we outnumber them. They are like 7 or 8% of the world's population, the ruling people now. And in this land, it's probably about 200 or 300 million of us, and only probably 1 million police officers and military altogether. Maybe 1.5 million. That's nowhere near the number to come on. And they got 10 shotgun shells. So at the most, they can kill is 10, 15,000 of us, and then you got another 200 million coming at their heads, man. All we have to do is stump our foot down, come together and stump our foot down. Them people going to respect us like they do every other sovereign country. We won all the wars for them. They know what we can do. We beat them in all the gym classes, in all the Olympics. We beat them in all the Olympic challenges. All the sports teams, we dominate them. You think all of a sudden they just going to think they're more powerful than us? No, they want you to think that. So, but all praises to the Most High God. We thankful this situation turned out. They paid. We don't know what the settlement is, but false arrest usually start at 50,000 if they just come arrest you peacefully. Like say you write a check and you go clear the check. They're supposed to take that warrant off of the system, and all of a sudden you get stopped and that old warrant pop up. You already took care of the debt. This happened. This is a true story. And they lock you up. You stay in jail a couple of days until you prove that, you paid the check. That paid $50,000 right away. So that kind of stuff paid $50,000. They'll start off offering you $50,000 off the rip because you can get more. You can set your own pay fee, your pay schedule, your fee schedule, whatever you want to charge. You sovereign. You can charge them for that. You can start off whatever your fee schedule is because they violate your constitutional rights. You can start off with $200,000. You can charge them $1 million. They threw you down on the ground and aggravated you and handcuffed you. Instead of protecting you against their white citizen, because we know he's over here on a white visa. He was supposed to be deported. Okay? But they figured it out, and all praise to the Most High. I just wanted to report on that story because we know a lot of people reporting that it just happened and they got to get back with you. No, this story, this is the end of it. What they're reporting, the breaking news is they're reporting that they settled with these people out of court. Okay? All praise to the Most High.